Greetings, this is Paul, your Pacific Northwest trail guide. I want to help you pick your next trail to explore, so let's check this one out. The top of Silver Star Mountain offers great views of surrounding mountain peaks and sits amongst a variety of other great opportunities for adventure on other trails. For this route via the Grouse Vista Trailhead, you'll travel a total of 6.5 miles, ascending about 2,100 feet. When you reach the peak of Silver Star, you'll be up over 4,300 feet of elevation. You'll want to bring your Washington Discover Pass to park at the Grouse Vista Trailhead. Also, keep in mind that a couple stretches of this hike are pretty exposed, so some sun protection may be nice. Lastly, there's a long stretch of the trail full of wild huckleberries if you visit in late summer and want to gather a bit. The route to this trailhead is pretty straightforward and includes some gravel roads. Following Rawson Road out of Orchards, Washington, it turns into Road L 1400, which you follow to the intersection with Road L 1000, where you turn left towards Larch Correction Center. Soon you pass the Correction Center and the road turns to gravel. Continuing on, you approach this intersection with L 1200, where you turn right onto that road and follow it to the Grouse Vista Trailhead. There's one more branch in the road you'll pass, where you keep to the right, but it's got a sign to help you out. Across the road from the vault toilets, you'll find the trail, which starts out as an old 4x4 road, heading up the ridgeline. Our route to the top of Silver Star will take us up Grouse Vista Trail, past Pyramid Rock, and up to connect with the Silver Star Trail. Soon after, we turn off to follow the Summit Trail up the rest of the way. Soon after you start up that ridge, you approach a connector trail with the Tarball Trail, and continue straight on the Grouse Vista Trail and get on with a steep climb up this ridge. This stretch of climb is much like a few others on the route. On these rubble-strewn former off-road vehicle trails, it's not exactly ideal for hiking, but at least it builds character. Once you make your way up to where the trail narrows, it flattens out a bit and you transition into a brushy hillside. Here you are greeted by interesting flowers and an abundance of wild huckleberries. As you continue on, the trail becomes exposed and you start to get views of the mountain and Pyramid Rock closer up ahead. Although the view at the end is nice, this is my favorite part of the trail. Before you approach Pyramid Rock, the trail dives back into some forest cover for a bit. Continuing on, you emerge from the trees again and approach Pyramid Rock, passing a small trail that heads off to an alternate path. After traversing an exposed slope past Pyramid Rock, you dive back into tree cover and the trail begins a vigorous climb again. After a bit of that climbing, you merge onto the Silver Star Trail here and continue that ascent. I'll show an alternate path to return that way on the return trip. Soon the climb gets a little more forgiving, and you pass through this last stretch of nice shady area before reaching the cluster of trails around the summit. After coming around a ridge, you turn in and pass a couple of intersections. First with the Sturgeon Rock Trail heading off to the left. Then the Indian Pits Trail heading off to the right. There are so many little side trips you can do here if you really want to explore a bunch. Finally, you ascend up to a huge pile of rocks, marking the junction with the Silver Star Summit Trail. Turn right here and continue for the last stretch up to the top. A small campsite rests part of the way up the summit trail. The trail comes to a T where you are greeted with a nice view of Mount Adams. Heading off to the right here takes us up to a view out to the south. And heading back to the T-junction and up the other way takes you up to nice views of Mount St. Helens and Sturgeon Rock. You might even spot some tiny hikers on Ed's Trail above the rock bluffs to the north. After your well-deserved rest and views among the concrete platform of a former tower, the trail back awaits you as you head back down to the summit trail. For your return trip, you can of course make your way back the way you came. But in this guide, I'll show you an alternate route for part of the return where you can take a smaller trail around the backside of Pyramid Rock to change it up a little. It doesn't really add any distance and is a good option if you're up for a little more of a rugged route. As you come down from the summit trail, you turn left back onto the Silver Star Trail at the huge pile of rocks, and soon after you'll find yourself again passing the Double Trail Junction. This next junction is where you'll decide to take the same route back off to the right on the Grouse Vista Trail, or head up to the left, staying on the Silver Star Trail for the alternate route. Very soon after, we turn off the Silver Star Trail on the thin connector trail off to the right to head towards Pyramid Rock. This alternate path can be quite overgrown and a little harder to follow, but you'll find more berries, interesting flowers, and a new view of another canyon, with the Silver Star Trail snaking off on the other side of it. Pyramid Rock gets closer and closer on your right as you approach it. After passing by Pyramid Rock, the trail curves to the right, and you'll pass a short spur trail you can use to explore up the hill, or continue straight back to the junction with Grouse Vista Trail. Shortly after, you'll reach the junction and head left to continue on familiar ground. Now we'll cover some difficulty ratings for different aspects of this hike. Mostly due to the few steep and rocky parts of this trail, it gets a 2 out of 5 for terrain difficulty. It gets 2 clouds for elements in consideration of the higher elevation and partial exposure. The length is a pretty average day hike, earning it 3 boots. And while the elevation gain on this one is not extreme, keep in mind that it comes in alternating short stretches, so 3 mountains for climb difficulty. That's all for this edition of Pacific Northwest Trail Guide. I hope I have or will soon help you pick your next trail to explore. I scouted this trail in July of 2023, but trails are always evolving. If you pick this trail and encounter any changes people might like to know about, please help out your fellow explorers by sharing in the comments on this video. I've shown some of the beautiful sights of this trail in what feeble capacity a video can render. A picture may be worth 1,000 words, but an experience with all of your senses cannot even be conveyed in pictures or video. So don't take my word for it. Get out there and see it for yourself.